you're watching right now the final stages of the Lumber Stakes. That's Sky Heights you're taking a peek at now. It's the favourite, the major contender for the McKinnon this afternoon, the Louis Vuitton McKinnon Stakes. It's race 7 on the card at 3:25, but race 4 is coming up next. Let's go trackside to Peter and Jenny with all the details.
Yes, Sandra, more immediate matters at hand now, and hard matters too, because it's going to be difficult to find the winner here, although you're pretty keen about yours in It's Platonic. We'll get to it very shortly. And let's have a look at Avild number 1. Larry Cassidy, the rider for John Hawkes, has got plenty of put, Jen.
Has she ever? 58.5 she's got to carry today. She's a terrific mare. She's very honest, but she drops back to the 1600 metres here after running in the Coonji over the 2000. That's a little concern, and of course I'm a little worried about the weight as well, so a place chance.
Although we will see her getting to the line strongly, no doubt. Number 4, Lady Marion, Karen McAvoy, the rider for Dean Lawson at Flemington.
Well, Lady Marion was in the firing line and got the bob in at Caulfield there. Very honest type of horse, but once again 57 kilos here is a slight concern, so a place chance for her.
Market price is number 8 in the race, and another Stephen Baster, the rider. Stephen King was the rider at its last start, and he rode his 1,000th winner on this filly at Caulfield.
Well, she put in a pretty good, strong performance last time, ridden upside down really, and she won. I thought it was a pretty good effort there. I think she'll be running on in this race. She has one on this sort of going as well, so no problem there.
There's Spice Doll, $13.40 on Super Tab. Darren Beedman, the rider for Leon McDonald.
Nicely drawn in barrier 4 here. I think she'll definitely give a sight in this race. She's been racing well.
Gee, I thought Bumbleina was unlucky at Caulfield. Jen flashed home. Brett Preble rides for Lindsay Smith.
Yeah, she drew wide on that occasion too, Peter, and I thought that was probably against her. She's had 3 tries at the 1600 metres for 3 wins, and she's definitely a chance in this.
What about the ultra-consistent number 11 Nova Claus? She doesn't know how to run a bad race. Patrick Payne is the rider for Leon McDonald.
Well, quite simply, she did outclass them at Sandown 2 starts ago, and she's never ever far away. She was 3 wide last start, and she kept going very well. I think she's got a good each-way chance.
Number 12, Sorrento, had pretty good form in good company in Sydney. Finished 9th in the Epsom, not that far away from the winner, but hasn't raced that well since she's come down here.
And a little unknown on the wet going too, Peter. That's a concern. I think she can go better. I think you can forgive her for the Moonee Valley run. She took off 5 and 6 wide and did have a few excuses there.
Now tell us why It's Platonic's going to win. Leith Innes is the rider.
Oh, 8 starts for 6 wins and 1 second, Peter. Her form in New Zealand's been outstanding. She had a 1 month off before she came to Caulfield last start, and I think with that run under her belt, she's going to be very fit and very hard to beat.
So there are the main chances that we think in race 4 on the card, the Hardy Brothers Classic. Look at this enormous crowd here at Flemington. This is one of the big Derby Day crowds, I think, Jen. Let's take a look at the tote figures as they stand at the moment. Dan Malicki.
Wide open affair outside. It's Platonic and Avilda at $10 on Super Tab, 15 in Queensland, 9 in New South Wales. Now down to market price at the $17 mark. Big discrepancy there in Queensland. It's $3.70. Number 9, Spice Doll at 13, $6 Bumbleina. The favourite, It's Platonic, and clearly so at $3.40. Nova Claus, of course, in the market at $8. 16 Bodacious Lady at $47. And Super Sequel at $22, given an each-way chance from a wide barrier draw. Well, clearly the favourite on the tote is number 14, It's Platonic. What about the scene in the ring, Tim?
Yeah, same applies, Dan. It's Platonic opened up very short and was a noted drifter in about the first 15 minutes of betting, but now they've just come out of the ether to get on It's Platonic. It is clearly the favourite in this race, and everyone wants to be on it. There's some noted drifters in the race: Bumbleina, Nova Claus. Bit of specking for Cryptavia, number 6. It is $18 on the tote, about 5 points shorter here in the ring. But it's Platonic, clear-cut favourite, Pete.
Tim Gossage in the betting ring. Roy Higgins has joined me in the mounting yard. We'll get his thoughts in a moment. First of all, let's recap the tips. It's Platonic from Jennifer, Avilda from Richard, Johnny Letts and Gary Willits, Nova Claus from myself, Cryptavia from Dan. So as usual, the mares races proved pretty hard to come up with a consensus. 1600, they start over by the Maribyrnong River on the far side of the course, and as we've already said, and we looked at the Strathfield race predictor a little earlier, it's very difficult for horses drawn out wide to have a position by the time they get to the first turn, unless, of course, Higgins was riding it in the old days, and then you'd be just in the box seat by then.
Of course you would. And then get a month.
No, you'd never
The
do that.
1400 and the 1600 here are the two worst barriers at Flemington. If you draw out, you've only got a short run to the first turn. Here, well, number 14, It's Platonic. I was on her at Caulfield. She had no luck there. I black booked her, and I see no reason why I shouldn't follow here today. She looked excellent in the yard, but she's come up at ridiculous odds.
Yes,
I think
I
that
agree.
in a field like this, she's far too short. I still marked her on top of number 11, Nova Claus. She'll always give you a good sight. She's a lovely big mare. Lady Marion, he's an on-pace runner. A very good win recently, second up at Caulfield. Gee, she's trained on. Will run well here, and she will be an on-pace runner. Number 17, Super Sequel. I would have marked her higher, only her barrier. Speaking of barriers, she's drawn the outside barrier. She'll need a lot of luck, but she's a very good mare. I marked them 14, 11, 4 and 17. Pete?
Roy Higgins, courtesy of Sport 927, with his thoughts on the Hardy Brothers Classic. They're moving in. You can see Lenny Beasley there aboard Sorrento. Leith Innes is the man who is riding the favourite here. It's Platonic. A short time ago, he caught up with Mark Aston.
Leith, It's Platonic's come up pretty short on the tote.
Yes, she has. Her form in New Zealand stacks up pretty well. She's won 6 from 7 over there, and her last run was good.
She's drawn pretty well.
She has. She's drawn 3. She'll be looking to go forward early.
Leith Innes chatting with Mark Aston with the New Zealand accent. Here's a bloke who came over here with a New Zealand accent. He used to talk about Fosh and Chups and all the rest of it. Now you talk like an Aussie, Gary Willits.
Thanks very much, Peter. Yes, great to see Mick Dittman back here on number 2, Pace Invader, who's one of the great jockeys. Gee, I like the look of the favourite, and also Nova Claus, number 11. The other one was the 8, Market Price, looked very well done.
Some pretty famous colours too. The Silks and Market Price were one of the sets that were worn by Farlap. The red with the black and white hoop sleeves. Now only a couple out from the line. It's Platonic is into $3.40 now on the Victorian tote, so it's clearly the favourite from Bumbalina.
Very tough race down this.
$250,000 in prize money, so it's a big one to win for the mares.
Yes.
Over the 1600, the Hardy Brothers Classic. It's a Group 2 event.
Vildes always runs a very good race.
She's got plenty of weight, but she is a good mare. She's really come of age in the last 6 months. She has won here at Flemington. Their Super Sequel's ready. And they're all set to go. At the 1600 metres, they're on their way now. Bodacious Lady was a little bit slow to begin, and Umaline will drift out the back with Harmonia, Market Price. Bumbalina's going to get back as well. Lady Marion and Spy Style amongst the best 2 to begin, and Super Sequel from a wide draw going forward. Lady Marion crosses Spy Style. Cryptavia is poking through in the middle. It's in the pink colours with a black cap. It's now up to 4th, and Love's Choice going forward. It's 3 wide in the black and gold colours getting into 5th spot. 2 lengths back 6th, there's Prenuptial on the inside of Pace Invader. Another 2 lengths away the favourite, it's Platonic, and then Sorrento the inside, Nova Claus 3 out. 1.5 lengths away Avilda, then Bodacious Lady, Harmonia, Umaline. Back towards the tail end of the field, Bumbalina, and Market Price is 12 lengths off the lead in last position. About 900 metres to travel, and Lady Marion has them stacked up and led a half a length to Super Sequel. Love's Choice 3 wide, Spy Style is back on the fence running 4th, and then Cryptavia the centre, 3 wide Pace Invader. Next is Prenuptial, and then came It's Platonic running up to the turn in about 8th position, but starting to ease out. Nova Claus has always raced wide, and then came Avilda. Prenuptial back on the rails from Sorrento, and then Harmonia well back on the turn from Market Price, and Bumbalina's 3 lengths last. At the 400, it's Lady Marion and Super Sequel together, 2 lengths to Cryptavia into the clear, and then Spy Style, It's Platonic out wider, running on well. Super Sequel, Lady Marion from Cryptavia, It's Platonic, and then Spy Style. It's Lady Marion kicking back, Super Sequel, It's Platonic, Cryptavia. On the outside, Super Sequel put its neck in front from Lady Marion, then it's Platonic, but it's Super Sequel in front with the gouge from a wide draw and a big run. Super Sequel scores. Super Sequel, a photo of the miners between It's Platonic and Nova Claus, which was a big run, and it was closing late. Cryptavia close up, and then Lady Marion and Sorrento made ground from Spy Style, who weakened the last 100 metres. Umaline was next, and then Avilda, Prenuptial, Bodacious Lady, and then came Love's Choice, dropping out of it Pace Invader, Market Price, then Harmonia, and Bumbalina never got warm. It was always at the tail of the field.
Gee, very big win to Super Sequel. From out there, from 19, that's a real big effort, Dan.
Sat outside the leader, just kept giving. I think It's Platonic will get second, had her chance, and yes. Nova Claus was 3 wide and 4 wide at some stages for the whole race, and it's run 3rd.
Yes, they ran well, but gee, all the honours go to the winner. Super Sequel just kept going. She ran a very good race at Moonee Valley. But when she drew 19, I sort of thought, gee, she's going to have a lot of luck out there. And where they are here, Super Sequel's just gone to the lead here. The one on the outside in the green, that's It's Platonic. And outside that, getting home good as Nova Claus. But Super Sequel, ridden by the Gouts, just keeps giving and sort of gets away a little bit here and just wins quite well. Very close for the minors.
It's Platonic second, number 14, and number 11 third. Fourth in was 6, and fifth in number 4. We say good afternoon to John Letts on his favourite partner, and that's Banjo, escorting the winning jockey Darren Gauci.
Yes, Darren, Super Sequel. Gee, it was a tough win, Darren, wasn't it, from barrier 19?
A very good win. She practically did what she did the other day, but she won today. She did the outside barrier and she went forward, and she hung on nicely.
Darren, you had a horse up 3 deep outside. I think it was Love's Choice.
It was.
Did it worry her much during the run?
It did. It just sort of switched her on a bit more, She wanted to go forward a little bit sooner, and she was a little bit keen. More than what I'd liked her to be. And actually the saddle did slip forward a bit, about 700. And I had to let her stride a little bit sooner than I wanted to, but to her credit, she stuck on very well.
And it's a pretty tough effort, isn't it, to sit up outside the leader here and win, because you come from the gate 19 and you had to do a bit of work early.
I had to do a bit of work. I got across fairly easy though, John, but like I said, I didn't have an easy run, even though, I was one off the fence. She still wanted to go a little bit keener and wanted to race a bit sooner than what she should have, but she hung on nicely.
And to her credit, Darren, she never gave up, did she?
She certainly didn't, John.
No.
She kept going. She's tough. One thing about she's very tough.
Congratulations, Darren. I hope it's the start of a big week for you.
I hope so too, Johnny.
Congratulations, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Johnny Letts out on the track with the winning rider, Darren Gauci. Terrific effort that, as Lettsy said, from gate number 19. Really had to get across the field and hopefully make that filly or the mare relax, and that's exactly what she did. She found plenty in the run home. The run of the horse that ran into the placings at the end and got into third placing, Nova Claus, as Dan has already pointed out, was outstanding. It's Platonic too. Got a bad check at the start and was squeezed out somewhat. So both of the second and third horses were very good runs there. And that's to take nothing away from the winner, because Super Sequel has put up a terrific performance to win. And Robert Prescott, the trainer, has just come down here. Robert, congratulations.
Thank you.
Lovely ride, wasn't it?
Very good. Nice gate speed she's got, and she would have been a lot shorter if she'd drawn inside gate.
Did the wide gate worry you in the lead up to the race?
Oh, yes, very much so. But she did well last Saturday, and she improved with the run from last Saturday, so she came into the race well.
Yeah, she's obviously shown you that she's got her hoof on the till with those 2 very good seconds.
Yes, she was a group filly here and placed in the autumn, and she got hurt, but she's come back good now. So.
Now, what about later in the day? Might I be talking to you later with Hill of Grace?
I hope so. She's done very well, and if she cops the ground, she's going to be hard to beat.
There's so many Melbourne Cup horses in that race later on too that, the genuine weight for age horses you would think would probably shine a bit.
Yes, I hope so. The Diatribe and Freemason, the form through them fairway from last year has been good, so I hope she can continue it.
Maybe I might see you later on.
Hope so.
Robert Prescott, well done. The winning trainer with Super Sequel number 17 defeating It's Platonic 14 and 11 Nova Claus after the running of the 4th. The Hardy brothers, as the winning rider Darren Gauci accepts the congratulations of everyone as he comes back to scale. We'll head to a break and be back with the weight signal and the dividends. You're watching Amy Victoria Derby Day live around Australia, the first day of the Melbourne Cup Carnival of 2000. On the lawns here at Flemington, they're having a good time today, and if you boxed up Roy Higgins 4 in the preview there, you would have had a good time, because you've got the trifecta here in race 4, and the Strathfield race predictor got 2nd and 3rd, but I hasten to add, so did we, Jen.
Yes, well, we're sort of in form, aren't we?
We're sort of in form. And Des Gleason's in form too. Correct weight. He declares correct weight after the running of the 4th race on the card. The official numbers there were 17, 14 and 11. Super Sequel Darren Gauci defeating It's Platonic Leith Innes and Nova Claus Patrick Payne. We'll take a look at the replay from race 4, and this is a spectacular shot, is it not, from the Hertz blimp high up above. You can see Super Sequel. I really like the way this mare came back underneath Darren Gauci after he had to get her up the front, and she relaxed beautifully, Jen.
Well, she did. She drew wide, so she did a very good job. But I think It's Platonic was pretty damn unlucky there, Peter, because she was squeezed right out at the start, and she hasn't finished too far off.
No, and Nova Claus, well, I thought
yes.
she was probably the run of the race because she was never closer than 3 or 4 off the rail. I know you tend to watch the ones that you've backed to a tip, but she was certainly unlucky. And look at her in the black and white stripes getting home on the outside.
Never far away, is she?
All right, we might go to Dan, I think, and find out just what the tote dividends are with the correct weight signal. Daniel, on race 4.
Okay, Peter, on the Super Tab tote in Victoria, the winner Super Sequel paid $24.20 and $5.70 the place. So that's $24.20 and $5.70. 14 It's Platonic $1.70. 11 Nova Claus $2.50. A Quinella of $41.20. Exacta $92.40. Trifecta $651.40. Running double 1 and 17 $128.60. Well, so often we've seen that the bookies are staring down the barrel early on the carnival, but not quite the case this year, Tim. That's the third winner at double figure odds to win, and not just double figure odds, but around the $25 mark.
Yeah, Dan, it was about 20 to 1 in the ring. The price didn't move at all, and yes, the bookies have got a smile on their face. Although I said earlier that Brew was a drifter, they still lost heavily in the race, but Super Sequel certainly has made them a little bit happier. In the next, the 5th, I can tell you that the top 6 runners are under double figure odds, and it's each way odds to field, so it's finding it very hard to separate the top 6 runners. And there's one down the bottom in number 12, Lovelorn, $16 on the tote, half that price in the ring, Pete.
Thank you, Tim. Yeah, there's going to be some activity prior to the Qantas Wakeful Stakes. Here are the tote figures as they stand at the moment. Look at how wide open this is with Ponton Flyer, Donna Dior, each way chances. Dashing Granada's in with a chance. Blab, Richard Freeman told us they quite fancy this horse today at $9.50. Tanith is at $3.90, has come up short enough in a tough race. Shelbourne Lass at $5.10. Lolita Star's come up good odds at $20 even. She's a pretended 23. That's on Super Tab, and then we go over the page to Lang Kwai Fong. Now, what does that name mean, Jen?
Well, it's a, let's put it this way, a drinking hole in Hong Kong, on the island there.
Yeah, I thought you'd know the answer to that. Lovelorn, $17.60, and it's probably about the best of the others. So we've got a big field, and it is a wide open race, and I don't think that Tanith is entitled to be as short as it is here. You can see that the 3 emergencies are the scratchings in the Qantas Wakeful Stakes, which is race 5 on the card. And the selections, just tell us again why you like Shelbourne.
Well, Peter, at Flemington, I thought it was a good effort. She sat outside the lead there, and then at her last start, it was a fantastic effort. She worked very hard throughout the race. She was wide, and she still kept going very well. Quite keen on Shelbourne Lass. I thought number 5, Tanith, had a good chance, and number 2, Donna Dior for 3rd.
All right, well, I like Tanith, but I don't like the odds this filly has come up on the tote. I think she's probably entitled to be a little bit longer odds than that. Now, you'll be pleased to know that our email address, thecup@network10.com.au, we have had plenty of response saying that they love having you back here.
Oh, really? Isn't that nice?
Yes.
Mum's just got her computer.
Yes, so thank you, Mrs.
Thanks,
Chapman.
Mum.
thecup@network10.com.au. All right, let's have a look at the predictor for the next race, race 5, the Qantas Wakeful Stakes, 2,000 metres, and we're going to find out exactly what the predictor has come up with as we get to the closing stages. They've got a long run down to the first turn here, so they should have a position. And the predictor agrees with me here. Tanith has come up with Blab for 2nd and Ponton Flyer for 3rd. So 5, 4 and 1.
I would say Tanith is definitely looking for the 2,000 metres here today, the way she's been racing, Peter.
Now, are you about to blow away? What's going on there?
About to fly into the mounting yard, I think.
Well, just don't do a Mary Poppins on us, will you?
I think I've done one of those before.
I think you actually did it a couple of years ago. Now, why don't we head to the presentation while you're flying around all over the course and go to Mr. John Tray from Hardy Brothers for the presentation after race 4.
On behalf of Hardy Brothers Jewellers, it gives me great pleasure to present the winner of the Hardy Brothers Classic with this magnificent trophy. For all involved, it represents dedication, determination and teamwork, as well as much skill and talent, which are all characteristics of excellence in jewellery making. Hardy Brothers has been renowned for the fine jewellery of quality and is designed for more than 140 years and are proud makers of the Melbourne Cup for more than 20 years. The company's reputation and handsomely acknowledged in 1929 when it was appointed jewellers by war warrant to Her Majesty King George V. Today, Hardy Brothers acts as silversmiths and jewellers to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, and we remain the only company in Australia to be honoured with a royal warrant and therefore eligible to use the Royal Coat of Arms as incorporated in our logo. My sincere congratulations to the owner, Mr. Terry Jarvis of Super Sequel. Thank you.
Yes, doesn't matter which way you say it. Super Sequel was the name of the winner, and that was race 4. The next is race 5. It's the Qantas Wakeful Stakes, the first of our big races today. That comes up at 2 o'clock, and so the starting time for that is around about 23 minutes away from now. And quite possibly we will see the Oaks favourite decided when the Wakeful Stakes is run. Then, of course, we go on to the Amy Victoria Derby, the Louis Vuitton McKinnon Stakes, and the Salinger, our Group 1 treble on the opening day of the Melbourne Cup Carnival. Well, I think we might head back to the marquee now, where no doubt things are starting to hot up. The champagne is obviously nice and cold, but not that you'd be partaking of that at the moment, Sandra Sally.
Peter Donegan, I have a job to hold down. Please don't get me into too much trouble. But yes, the marquee, the champagne is flowing. Plenty of fun and festivities as always. As you mentioned, though, the countdown to the big race, it's coming up in, I guess, a little over an hour from now. Let's go to the break and be back with so much more fun, fashion and excitement. That is Flemington this week. There she is, the 3-year-old filly, the favourite for the Wakeful Stakes, the next race on the card, and her name is Kenneth. So take a good look, those who are considering putting the house on it. Maybe not perhaps the house, but you never know today. People do bet all sorts of amounts of money. Lynn Talbot is out and about. We're not sure who she's caught up with, but, you know, she roves a bit about between the marquees and the members' lawns. So, Lynn, can we track you down?
Well, Sandra, Derby Day brings out all sorts of colourful characters to Flemington, and one that you just can't miss today is Sir Richard Branson.
Hello.
Now, look at this fantastic.
Well,
now,
I thought you women all have these beautiful hats, and we thought we'd have a little to give you a bit of competition for a change.
Certainly outdone me today in brightness and size.
And I noticed
there you
a
go.
little virgin. Oh my God! Congratulations, anyway. Lovely.
Oh, thank you very
we want lots and lots and lots of those, please.
I don't know whether I deserve to be in this tent.
I hope they're going to fly all over the world and use lots of mobile phones and buy lots of music.
Well, that's what you're primarily out here for, isn't it? To launch your attack on the Australian mobile phone market.
That's right.
How do you think you'll go?
Oh, I think, well, now they allow mobile phones at the horse racing. It's going to be no problem at all. And
well, that's right. It was a no-no up until a few years ago to have a phone on the race course.
They should only allow Virgin Mobiles. I think that these orange phones, they don't look so good, and these Boda somethings anyway. But we'll sort it out one day.
Is this your first visit to Flemington?
It is my first visit, not only to Flemington, but to a horse race ever in my life.
Really?
So taken a while, but at least I've come to the best in the world, I'm told. So.
Well, yes, you're in very good hands. We'll look after you.
Thank
you.
You
one of these people, though, that stays in the marquee amongst the party atmosphere, or are you actually going to go down there and see a horse?
I like to party. I was up with all our Virgin Blue staff last night partying till about an hour ago, so I like to party. So we'll be partying here, and we'll be partying on the race course, and we might even have a flutter or two.
Oh, fantastic. So you've actually read the form, have you?
I know all the winners.
Oh, good. Tell me. You can tell all of us, actually.
Well, Oliver Twist is definitely going to win.
Oliver Twist.
Yes.
There you go,
Don't
Sandra.
tell anybody.
Hot tip from Sir Richard Branson.
Nice to see you. Bye.
You never know who you're going to run into here at Flemington. The zany, the bizarre, and of course the stars of the business world and the stars of the track. We're about to feature one of the stars of the track. His name's Peter Mertens. He's a jockey, and you know, many jockeys look for fame and glory, but it is a tough profession. It takes a great deal of courage. Peter Mertens had a near-death experience earlier in his career path, but you know, he's one jockey riding today on one of the favourites for the Victoria Derby, Royal Exile. Let's meet Peter Mertens.
For the Amy Victoria Derby, $1 million. Gardening, the dog, and playing with the kids at Cranbourne South, absolutely priceless. For Peter Mertens, a win on Royale Exit in today's Derby will be the greatest triumph of a career marked by courageous comeback. But all the glitz and glamour of racing's classic day can't change the outlook of a jockey who reminds us all to keep things in perspective.
without family, I'd have no career. They're my wife and Anne and the kids are sort of my backbone. That, you know, I can come home and get away from racing here, and you know, they prop me up.
At 37, an age when many jockeys are considering retirement, Mertens is only just starting to make his mark as a feature race rider. And this year picked up his first Caulfield Cup ride on Ken's Joy for Bart Cummings. It's not that he's a late bloomer, because the ability's always been there. It's just that Mertens couldn't hack the city life and decided to ride mainly at the Saturday country meetings in Gippsland, where he won the local premiership about 10 years in a row.
I don't like the city life too much. I'd rather spend my time in the country, and I was quite settled where I was. I was leading rider, and you know, the big city lights didn't seem to attract me too much.
Mertens' outlook on life was changed one day at Pakenham, when he suffered severe injuries and a heavy fall, which almost left him paralysed.
It sidelined me for 14 months all up, and it looked like I wasn't going to ride again. And I just made a decision then that, you know, if I could go back, I'd make sure I'd go back to, you know, and give it the best possible shot I could give it. And if it didn't work, well, bad luck.
He believes Royale Exit is right on target for the Amy Victoria Derby, but the pressure of riding in such an important race is not about to get to him.
Being in this house in the morning when Anne and the kids are getting ready for school at breakfast time is definitely more pressure in that than riding in a Group 1 race.
Mertens won't have his cheer squad with him today.
Second now of our great competitions this week, and this one, I might add, is terrific. Your chance to win, can you believe it, a brand new car, which is pretty wonderful. Now, this is the Honda Melbourne Cup home viewer competition. Sadly, for our international viewers, you're not quite eligible to enter. This is for Aussies only. Now, each day throughout the carnival here on 10, you'll have a chance to enter and answer a simple question. The competition, as I said, is only open to viewers here, and we will be announcing the winner next Saturday on Emirates Stakes Day. All you have to do to enter, though, is simply tell us which was the last international horse to win the Melbourne Cup. It's that simple. Don't know if we'll give you hints through the week. We'll see how we go, but it really isn't that hard a question. Just simply then follow the instructions. Call the number on your screen. It's about to pop up, 1902 555 665. That's 1902 555 665. As I mentioned, we will announce the winner on Emirates Stakes Day next Saturday, and it is not only the chance to win a brand new car, it's the brand new 5-door Honda Civic Hatch, just launched in Australia at the weekend and launched around the world. So let's go to a break. We'll be back with so much more from Flemington. We'll see you soon. Day is considered by many of the experts as the barometer of the week. If Derby Day goes well, we're in for a great week. As you can see, it's going pretty well so far. People are enjoying themselves. The crowds aren't so much building anymore because they're here. The race is approaching, so as you can see, it is a wonderful time at Flemington. Fashion is one of the main features of the week, apart from the racing. And taking a look at our third feature designer for the day, Peter Rooney is the head designer at Jackie E, and she is gaining a legion of fans.